Another day, another major announcement for Tony Khan. My name is Ango, and in this video, we got to talk about the biggest things happening in wrestling. Today, we're talking Alexa Bliss, we're talking Battle of the Belts, and we're talking Tony Khan's major announcement. If you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell. And don't forget, you can weigh in on the conversation. We have a Discord server completely free. Come join the community. It's a really good time. Now, with that being said, I want to jump into things very quickly with Alexa Bliss. For some reason, I've been seeing comments lately on the channel asking me if the rumors of Alexa Bliss going to AEW are true. And I don't know where the hell this actually stems from. I don't know who is suggesting such information, but I have not seen any sort of stories, any sort of rumors. I haven't seen any sort of anything really suggesting that Alexa Bliss could be going to AEW. Now, the one thing I did see, according to PW Insider, is that Alexa Bliss was internally listed in WWE as the number 2 babyface for the Raw brand. Now, if you guys watch WWE on a weekly basis, you know that Alexa Bliss was doing some segments with the therapist thing, and then she came back, and then they didn't do anything. Obviously, she just got married, but yeah, it was just a whole weird scenario. I don't know where the hell people actually think Alexa Bliss is going to AEW. Now, as of right now, there's nothing on that. Now, in terms of her being listed internally as the number 2 babyface, I don't know how good of an indication that is for WWE in terms of pushes or plans or anything like that. But if that is accurate, if PW Insider's report is accurate on that internal list, I would suggest that more than likely Alexa Bliss is not going to AEW, and we shouldn't expect that anytime soon. While I do think Alexa Bliss would be a great pickup for AEW, I like what AEW is doing with their women's division right now. I think it's improving immensely, and I think Alexa Bliss just fits the WWE style way more. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Now, with that being said, guys, I do want to switch over to Battle of the Belts. I want to give you guys my predictions. I will be doing a review show for the Battle of the Belts too. And quite honestly, I want to be a little bit more optimistic about this show, but just based on the first one that we've seen, it was a very skippable show. It really wasn't that good. And, you know, I just think that's because AEW has a hard time doing title changes right now. It doesn't make sense for a lot of these title changes to happen. But I do want to talk about this because the card is actually really good. Like, this is definitely a Battle of the Belts that people should tune into. I think the first one was very hit or miss for a lot of fans. I think this one is going to be pretty entertaining. So we have Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's Championship. We have Jonathan Gresham defending the ROH World Championship against Dalton Castle. And then we have Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara for the AEW TNT Championship. Now, for those who are unaware, the AEW World Championship match is actually taking place live on Rampage between Adam Cole and Hangman Page. And for some odd reason, I have a very strong feeling that that match will actually see a title change, which I believe would be more valuable for AEW to have that match on the Battle of the Belts card, because obviously it would show people that these types of cards are really important. Now, when it comes to Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose, I think right now you have to keep the belt on Thunder Rosa. However, I do like what AEW has done with Nyla Rose as of late. I think the segment that they just had on Dynamite with the pie or the cake or whatever it was for Thunder Rosa, it was just a fun little segment. Thunder Rosa, Vicky Guerrero, Nyla Rose, there's something there that I think AEW will probably continue working on as time goes by. I don't know if Nyla Rose is one and done. I don't see Nyla Rose getting the win here, but I don't necessarily see Nyla Rose losing clean. Not that Thunder Rosa would cheat, but I just see a scenario in which maybe AEW books this match in a way where maybe Nyla Rose just gets screwed over. Something happens to not necessarily make her look weak, because it appears to me that AEW does want to use Nyla Rose. But I do see Thunder Rosa winning and then obviously continuing her streak, which makes the most sense. The second match that you get is Jonathan Gresham versus Dalton Castle. And later on in this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about ROH. But this is an ROH World Championship match, and it's a late addition to the card. Now, Jonathan Gresham being the ROH World Champion, to me, it's best for business. I really like John Gresham and everything he's done. I like his style. I like the way he wrestles. I like the way he puts on these matches, and he works very well with a whole variety of talent, right? There's no way that Jonathan Gresham could lose this match, but I am glad that Tony Khan has decided to bring Dalton Castle back. There's no announcement as to whether or not Dalton Castle is going to be signing with the company and being part of ROH. We're still waiting for information on that, but I think this is another match where, again, it's easy to predict. I just don't think Gresham loses. And, it's a tough spot, because if you really want to sell Battle of the Belts going forward, it's a Saturday night. You're trying to keep your key target audience watching on a Saturday night, the day before Easter. It's not really easy to get people to watch. You need to do something big here. And I know there's been a lot of talk surrounding Cesaro, Claudio, and, if there's ever a time to debut somebody, I think this would be the match to do it. I think this would be the match. I think having Cesaro debut at the ROH World Championship match after Gresham wins, I think this would create a lot of excitement for AEW and ROH, more specifically the ROH brand. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then also we have Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara. And this is a tough one because it's for the TNT Championship, but my prediction is pretty simple. I think Scorpio Sky has to win here. But ultimately, this needs to be the end of the road for Sammy and the TNT Championship for now. We need to move on to fresh matchups. We need to move on. And unfortunately, with all three of these matches, I feel like, not seeing a title change is definitely a bad decision in some capacity. But all three of these champions need to keep their belts. So it's a double-edged sword. With that being said, without having any title changes here tonight, on that night specifically, the Cesaro debut could be really, really massive, and that's what I would like to see. Not really sure what AEW has plans, but I will be reviewing it, so I want to know what you guys think. All right, guys, and for our final story, Tony Khan, AEW, again, they're promoting another huge announcement. Commentary specifically said this was a massive announcement, and can I just be honest? The announcement thing, it's tough, man. It's tough. I know what Tony Khan's trying to do. He's trying to keep people excited about his product, but I feel like I've said this before, it's just too many announcements. If you under-deliver after the fact, they're no longer big. They're no longer important. Nobody knows if this is a new signing. Nobody knows if this is a debut. Nobody knows anything. But after the reaction that AEW got from the Satnam Singh debut, I feel like AEW is going to make a massive deal out of this. Now, with the Warner Media and Discovery merger, I think this announcement has 1,000% a lot to do with it. And I honestly can see a scenario where ROH TV deal is announced. And I have a very, very strong feeling that's going to be the deal. And there's no news or indication of what this announcement will be. And I will update you guys along the way. But the question here is, does AEW have too many huge announcements? I want to know what you guys think. I think in some aspects it's great for the business and great for AEW. But in certain time periods, it's just like too many times. It's been done too many times. And I don't know how I feel. What are you guys leaning towards? Do you guys think it's a debut, a signing? I think there's been a lot of emphasis lately on ROH talent. Obviously, you have the Gresham and Dalton Castle match on Saturday. To me, I think this is going to be the TV deal. And this is another way for AEW to get people excited about it. And that's why they're making a big deal out of this. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And I'll see you next time.